69, and I'm so sorry I'm late. Monday meeting at the mill, fortnightly meeting at the mill. So as often, I do get a little bit tied up there, but there was so much to see and talk about whilst we were there. So I'm really sorry about being a bit late, because I know, particularly from in Hawke's Bay North, the weather is extremely wet, and obviously to all of our friends in Auckland who are locked down at the moment. So I'm really sorry if you were waiting around for me to turn up. I'm here, I promise I'm here, and I'll make it worthwhile. I've got lots to talk about today to hopefully help make your day a little bit better. Good morning, everybody. Yay! Good to see everyone here. And yes, it is. Oh, hey, Joanne from Auckland. I know, honestly, I think not the Valentine's Day we were expecting yesterday. But you know what? We've been here before, we've done it before, and we will get through it like we do every other time. So for those who are not necessarily aware, we are based in Hawke's Bay, so we are in level 2. So that means that pretty much everything is operating as normal, with the exception that you need to make sure that you are a little bit more aware of social distancing when you come in to visit us in our store. But if you've ever been to our store, you'll know that that's not really a problem, because it's huge, because we are actually a store that's based in a warehouse. The actual store itself is massive, so you've got tons of room to maintain your social distancing, and we've got some guides on the floor that can help you out with that. And whatever you do, don't forget to scan in. That's the most important thing, so we know if heaven forbid anything were to happen, they know that you've been to come see us. So actually, another little trick for people, if you, because I know some people keep COVID diaries and stuff. If you've got an Android phone, and I don't have mine here, but if you've got an Android phone, generally that runs on Google, if you make sure that your location services are on at any given time, that is also another way to help keep track of where you've been. So you're able to actually track, like it tracks your movements. And this is obviously, it's like the COVID tracer. I mean, you have your phone with you all the time. It's a really good way to track your movements. If you need to ever look back and see where you were in a day, you can actually go back and do that, as long as your location services are switched on. So that's another thing that you can also do. I do it all the time when I lose stuff. It's always really good thinking that, oh, I put that down when I was out and about. Where did I do it? So it's just another backup. It's always good to have a contingency plan, isn't it? Right. What have I been up to? I've got actually some finished objects to show you today. Kirsty finished her project over the weekend. I would like to have said that I finished my project over the weekend, but I would be lying. I'm nearly there though, and I actually I had to tie haul because I didn't have enough yarn, so I had to come in and get some more this morning. But the Miss Jane that I am working on is almost done, and I'm going to shift my chair back. Dreadful noise, sorry. Actually, it would go with what I'm wearing. So this is my Miss Jane in the ripple, and sleeve progress is where I'm up to. And I wanted to show this because I've done a longer length than what I would normally do. And as I showed you the other day, I did this nice little lace finish at the end, and I have duplicated that lace cuff as well. Now, as you can see, I've gone with quite a kimono style sleeve, and I've done that quite deliberately because this will be a cardigan that I will wear across the winter months, so I will be wearing it as a second layer. So it just means that I'm very comfortable. I can wear something underneath and I don't have to worry about it being too tight, and also too, it kind of sits with the style of the cardigan. It is quite a kimono style cardigan anyway, so it just sort of, for me, made sense to have that kimono style arm. And I've gone and done, so the one thing that I had to do is I counted the number of stitches that I had around my armhole, and in order to do this lace detailing, and if you're after this lace detailing, it is the same lace that I use in my Ever After cowl. So if you just, it's a free on Ravelry, so if you ever download that, that gives you the pattern. And this is done in a multiple of 12. So what I needed to do was make sure that my decreases were set based on a multiple of 12. So as it was, it worked out that I needed, I think I ended up doing 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. So it ended up that I had, I think about 84 stitches around the top of the sleeve. And so I then did 6 sets of decreases, just, I mean, every 12th row, funnily enough, 6 sets of decreases to give me this nice multiple of 12, which I then did, and then just the same 4 rows of single rib at the end. So that will actually block up beautifully. And I'm now just onto the other side. So the weather is set to pack up here tonight. In fact, we've already had our first shower of rain. So this will be me tomorrow, probably spending quite a bit of time tonight and tomorrow doing this. So with any luck, when I come back and talk to you again on Thursday, and we've all regained our freedom, I'll be able to show you a completed item, which will be loads of fun. Now, if you are in Auckland and you're needing to get yarn, our warehouse is operating as normal. So generally, if you're up there, we can get stuff to you. If you do it via credit card or Visa debit, we can get your orders out. If you get orders in by midday, we usually have them rolled around and dispatched out to you for the following day or day after if you're on a more rural service. But with any luck, fingers crossed, it will be just these 72 hours. So yes, good luck with that. So that is my finished item. The yarns used in that, for those who haven't caught up, that was Pulse and Ripple, which is the coloured yarn, and Dragonfly in Flight, which is our merino, and those two go together. Now, speaking of Pulse, this is... Now this, I've forgotten its name already. Claire did tell me it's, hold on, let me just find it for you. So Kirsty has been working on this for the last little bit, and oh my word, so incredible. She's a machine, is our Kirsty. Kirsty does the most wonderful work. And what we have a tendency to do here, right, is that we have our pattern, like knitting that we do for ourselves, but we quite often will leave it in the shop for our samples so everybody can get to see what we're working on. Spark, there we go, I knew it. So we're able to, so you're actually able to do it and see it and love it and have that fun there, right? Okay, so this is Spark by Angela Maree, and I'm going to just pop this up into the screen. So this is it here. So that's the pattern here. It's been incredibly popular. It's one that I actually talked about a while ago as a really, really good option for these yarns. And now, especially since we've had our vintage abroad in, if you wanted to do that, you could definitely do that and get a very similar effect to that using our quiver, which is in Pulse, and then the eggshell in vintage would give you pretty much, if you wanted to replicate that look. However, this is what Kirsty has gone and done. Right, look at that. So she's used Tempo, which is a slightly deeper one, but look at this. And she has used this Tempo with Sockmatician Milk. But isn't that absolutely stunning? Absolutely beautiful. The colours look incredible. They really do work incredibly well. So she's, as I said, she's used Sockmatician Milk and DK, Sockmatician DK Milk, and she's used the Pulse and Tempo. Look at that colour work. Isn't that amazing? I think she's done an incredible job on that. I might get her to model this, and I think she's actually looking at the sizing on this. She's actually made this for her husband, but I will get her to model it and show it off, because I just think she's done an incredible job, and it's so neat to see this yarn worked up in overall colour work. The other nice thing about this too is that it is actually, oops, oh gosh, and everything's gone flying. Yes, there are, look at that. Hasn't she done well? She's done really, really well. So I'm very, very proud of it. So that is from Kirsty. What else do I have to show? Let's have a look with everybody else. Oh, Angela is asking, loves the cardigan. Is it just the two colours? Yes, it is. And that's the beautiful thing about our pulse yarns, is that it has that beautiful graduated sort of effect all the way through. So it looks like it's a whole heap of different colours when really you're only doing two-stranded colour work. It's fantastic. So it's pulse tempo she used in that. Right. Good-o. Okay, what else have I got to tell you? I'm going to pick my stuff up off the floor because I'm going to tell you about that. Hold on a second. This is the hardest thing on the days that I rush back from the mill. I actually was relatively organised this morning because I knew we would be cutting it tight, but it was an absolute screamer. I literally rushed through the door here at about 3 minutes to 11. So by the time I set up, yeah, anyway. Brain Engage. Newsletter. Got the newsletter last week. Popped out another vintage pattern. So you'll laugh. I finally figured out how to do the scanning to PDF using the warehouse printer. We've got a big proper photocopier printer in the warehouse, and it's got the scan to PDF function. And I finally figured out how to do it to a booklet, to me, which is brilliant, because now that I know how to do that, it then means that I can start scanning some of my collection, which is very, very exciting. So I thought, because you guys, particularly those who are stuck in Auckland and you're in lockdown, I thought it would be a bit of fun to actually do a few patterns to get out to you guys today. This is one that I did actually scan, and I absolutely love it. And I cannot tell you how many times I've had someone ask me for a classic sort of V-neck men's, or any, it doesn't need to be men's, but V-neck classic style sweater in pieces. And this one is one that I've had, and it's done in a 4-ply, and it's, look at that, complete with pipe. Isn't that fantastic? But that would look incredible, and it uses quite a rustic yarn. That would look amazing in our Southlander Sport or Little Bandit. I think were the two absolute sitters for this. And it is using what they're 10s and 12s, which are 3.25 millimetre and 2.75 millimetre. And it also, I mean, the sizings are fairly slight. They're 38 to 44 inch. However, if you actually did the knit maths that I talked about last week, which was in terms of just shifting your gauge up. So if you actually shifted your gauge up from, now they said here, 7-stitch tension, so that's 7 fours 28, so that's standard 4-ply tension down to 22 stitches, that actually moves it by about 20% if you moved it to 3.25 or even 3.5 and 4 millimetre needles. And that would actually burgle you probably then up to about a 48 to 50 inch chest on that too, if you moved it up to a DK. So all you would need to do is just keep an eye on your length in terms of your row gauge. But the nice thing about this pattern is it is a classic style pattern with a set and saddle shoulder. Look at that. Oh, I haven't seen a shoulder like that for a while. It's an absolute cracker. And as you can see, it's fairly fragile. So I've already scanned this one. So I thought I'd send this one out because I just love it. And I'm going to do 3. I've got a whole heap here, and I'm going to scan all of them and get them out across to you for the month. We talked about, Ethan and I, do you remember we talked about twin sets? I know you guys just ran with it at the beginning of the month about twin sets, and a whole heap of you popped up patterns that you had for twin sets. And I wanted to tell you about this one. When I finally dug through my bag of tricks, they had this one. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? Love it. And it's done in a DK, which is even better. And the other thing that's even better with this one as well is it's also done 34 to 46 inch. Boom. So it would be really, really easy to size this one. I'll size it up or size it down. And the beautiful thing about it is both the cardigan and the pullover, I mean, it's, you know, to be honest with you, they're both really fantastic separate pieces in their own right, which I just absolutely adore. So I'm definitely going to get that one scanned up for you and sent out. And the other one I'm going to do is one for kids patterns. Now, I can't remember who it was. One of you in here posted up. Yeah, now, this is in this, I'm talking about stuff in the Skeinz Speakeasy. So if you're not in the Skeinz Speakeasy, trust me, you need to get in there. You guys are having so much fun in there. And I am just loving the vintage posts. And one of you posted up an image of a pattern leaflet, very similar to this. And it was your husband as a child was the model in the leaflet, which I just thought was priceless. It was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to show you this one. Greg is just saying, I need that men's pattern. It's going to be in my email tonight, Greg. Actually, that on you, Greg, would look fantastic. I just love it. I thought it was an absolute cracker. Anyway, this one. Look at this with our colour work that we're talking about at the moment. I mean, this is vintage, classic snowflake pattern. And this is just a children's one. It is 24 to 30 inches, so that is definitely child's sizing. So you're looking 24 inches, that's about, I think, you're looking probably 4 to 6 years maybe. I'd need to actually look that up. I mean, it's fantastic. And the best thing about that in DK, and if you love those colours, boom, look at that. Truffle, paprika and eggshell. And you'll be able to replicate that absolutely perfectly. So that's definitely coming out today with those. I know, so much fun. So much fun. And another one, I've got a whole lot of, I've also scanned one of these, a little baby layette, because I know I've had some of you ask for layettes. So I'm going to try and get some of those out as well. And this was the other one that I loved. And I loved this one because it used, this is again 24 to 32 inch, so similar sizing as the last one. And this used 6s and 8s, so that's 4mm and 5mm needles. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? This is perfect for the vintage board template. Excuse me. So I would definitely, I'm definitely going to get this one out to you. So dry. Oh, seriously, I'm having so much fun. So I'm going to be down scanning my little heart out later on. I haven't scanned them yet, but I'm definitely going to be doing that for you. What else? Oh, sorry, guys. Alrighty. What else have I got to tell you? Oh, restocks. These arrived last week and they have now been loaded. And I know you guys have been waiting for these water lilies. Renoir and Maree are both back. So we're very excited to have those back. These are just so much fun. I mean, gosh, I think we're on to about the 5th or 6th reprint of these. We absolutely adore them. So they should be up and live now. So do go and check those out. And the other thing I wanted to show you this morning, naked skeins. Yes, we've been out of both sock and DK for quite some time. And we've been working with the mill to get these in. In the end, with the delays, we're still, honestly, I mean, I said it with the other yarns that we bought in, we've been really, really caught up with the backlog since COVID. So we went back to the mill that we did our pulse and our flight with, which are amazing, our friend Wayne across there. And I said, Wayne, can you help us out? Because we are desperate for these yarns. We haven't been able to get them out in time to our crew. And I know so many of you are really desperate to get your hands on it. Arrived in this morning. So again, part of the reason why we're running around so much. Claire is actually not this morning, tell a lie, Friday, arrived on Friday, late Friday. Claire quickly whipped in and grabbed a couple of skeins from them and dyed them up over the weekend. and we're absolutely delighted with them. They are identical to pretty much to what we have currently from our own mill, using the same fibre. I mean, this is the great thing with these guys. We give them the exact composition of what it is that we've been using. They have matched the fibre exactly, the count exactly. So there is our new, that's the sock. That is the machine washable DK, and they have been able to produce these for us in 100 gram hanks in packets, and that's what they look like when they come to you. They've even twisted them for us, bless their little hearts. Don't they look fantastic? They feel great. The other thing they've also done with these as well, just looking at them, I think they've also bulked them as well by the look, steamed them too before they were things. So they are ready to knit, ready to go. So clear is just, in order to get these up and running, we've just got to create some new codes for them and get them loaded. So these will be definitely going live today. So keep an eye out for them. They will be getting loaded up because we're so excited to have them back, and it has been so long, and you guys have been so incredibly patient waiting for these, that we are loading these up with a 20% discount until the end of the month. So for the next couple, well, until the 28th of February, you can get 20% off these naked sock and naked machine washable DK. So if you've got some markets or things planned, or some stockings heading into the winter period, and you're wanting to get a head start on those, definitely, yeah, Barbara was just saying, yay, sock yarn, Margaret Collins. Yes, I know, Margaret has been so patient with them. Yes, and we want to just take it, basically do a discount just to say thank you for being so patient, and sorry for taking so long. We got to a point, I mean, we are going to be doing these again, don't you worry, back through our mill. But we just needed to get stock to you because we just couldn't go any longer with not having it. So it is so good to finally get that back in stock. And yes, and these are just from Claire's dye pots. Before anyone asks, oh, those colours are fantastic when they're in the range. This is literally just Claire tinkering around in her kitchen at home. So those will be loaded up later this afternoon. What else did I have on my magical little list? Oh, that's what I had on my magical little list. You would have seen the Barn Hill tea that was released by Vanessa from Hanging Rock Roost, I think it was. Yes, it was. It's absolutely beautiful. Let's pull it up actually. I saw this come out when it was being tested, and it's utterly gorgeous. Let's have a look. There we go. There it is, Bar Hill tea from the lovely Vanessa at Hanging Rock Roost. And let me get this over to here. Get rid of me because we want to see the lovely Vanessa. And this is gorgeous. She's done it in a 4-ply, 25 stitch tension, and it's, if you've got some really beautiful special skeins. Now she's got her own beautiful range of yarns that you can have a look at, and it's a gorgeous tee because it's got some beautiful lace work across the front, and then as well as just nice and plain at the back. And it is something that it is just a really lovely piece to have in the wardrobe. And what I really love about it is it's a piece that would work fantastically with layering. I really particularly love this one. That to me just screamed Sock Knit Chapel. It just would look incredible in that yarn. And even actually the Baker and Sock Knit would look utterly amazing. I think Vanessa has done an incredible job on this. And then that lovely little piece of lace work. So if you're looking for a knit that is really wearable and looks wonderful, I just think this is an absolute little sitter. I just think it's gorgeous. Uses 2.75, 2.3, 3.25 and 3.5 millimeter needles. Happy Go Knitting Maree is what we've got here, and her own Hanging Rock Roost. I also see she did it in a 2-ply. I think you've got it written in a 2-ply version as well. Yes, a lace weight version. So she's done this in a fingering weight or 4-ply version, and a lace weight version. So I wanted to bring this up because we have got our new Cascade lace, which I think would go fantastically well in this. I know a number of you were asking, do we have any patterns for Cascade lace? And I sent out a link to some of those that Cascade have had. But these are this is a pattern actually from a local designer that I think would look incredibly well. Also, check out Julie Monk from Hani Hoolies, because she test knitted this and she did it, I think it was in her Silky Humps silk yarn, which is a lace weight, and it looked divine. It was in this beautiful blush pink. It was amazing. So you need to have a look at that as well. So if you've been looking for something like this, particularly if you were to do it in a lace weight, and I was talking twin sets before, this actually could be the sort of tee that you would use. And with some of the colours, I think it's our sangria and the red lace from Cascade are all an exact match. So you could actually do this Bar Hill tee as the bottom piece within a twin set if you wanted to, and then a simple cardigan over top. It would be just a great way for doing some layering. So that is available now. So it's $8 US, and yes, and she's done an incredible size range on this, all the way up to 64-inch, which is bust size. So there is plenty of latitude there for you if you were looking for something to knit across the next little bit. And I just, I love patterns like this because they allow you to, I like to layer. And I think I've mentioned it before here in Hawke's Bay because of the warm weather that we have. And I know for a number of you sort of up in Auckland where it's a wee bit steamier, something like that is just so brilliant, because it's like what I've got now. You can just throw a t-shirt over the top of it, have the knitted garment here, and then you can just throw another cardigan over the top and shed things as things get too warm. So that is actually I'll put that link in the thing. That's my new pattern hint of the day or recommendation of the day is definitely this, because I think it's utterly gorgeous. And Vanessa has done an incredible job on that. And actually, if you've not met Vanessa and you're thinking of coming to Knit August Nights, Vanessa is actually having her teaching debut at Knit August Nights, and she's teaching a whole selection of different cast-ons and bind-offs. Particularly, she's looking at these Icelandic ones, German ones, just ones that are a little bit different, but can give you that sort of little extra thing in the toolbox when it comes to creating your own patterns or actually getting different effects for things that you're knitting. So I'm really excited to have Vanessa up for that. Right, I've rambled on enough, because I'm going to whip out, it's a short one today, I'm going to whip out and make sure that all of these things are loaded for you. And I will put that Spark t-shirt in for you as well while I'm sitting here. Now, fire in any questions for me too. If you've got any questions before I buzz off, I will answer those right now as well. Let's do that. So sorry for being a little bit disorganized today. Not always like this, I promise. There we go. Very good. Oh, I love it. Annie just said, oops, trying to position my phone, and I gave you a grumpy face on the screen. Hubby just kicked me out of my place on the couch while watching the live, but not grumpy at you, I promise. I bless your heart. It's okay. Plenty of people are grumpy at me all the time. I'm used to it. Very good. Right, I've got that one up there. Very, very good. All right, I'm going to buzz off so I can get all this stuff done for you. I'm going to go and do some scanning, and I will get that newsletter out. That will be fun, won't it? Get this newsletter out with some nice, free, beautiful, free old vintage patterns. So have a great day. Stay warm. Stay dry. Stay safe if you're in Auckland, and also over in New Plymouth and Taranaki as well. Everyone's being super careful and vigilant. You know what? We've done it before and we'll do it again, and we're going to be just fine. Until then, take care, and I'll talk to you again on Thursday. Until then, bye-bye.